Ladies and gentlemen, Kei Kim here. Welcome to the weekly update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is down 1% there on the S&P. Nasdaq down about 0.5%. Dow 1.5. Semiconductor down 0.5% today. Russell 2000 printing green today. Biotech is actually making a move on a red day like today, up 2.7%. Retail up about 0.5% there. Everything else is red. Transport red. Banks got hammered today, 2.2%, along with the energy. Healthcare down. Home builders also got hit, 2.3%. Utilities down. Emerging market down a little bit. Looks like Bitcoin is heavily down today, 5% negative. Gold, silver miners pretty much flat today, holding up better. Dollars up. Oil down. Treasury bond up. VIX popped little bit. In tonight's analysis on these weekly update videos that I do on a Friday night, we will be looking at long-term implication of this market. And because I've received overwhelming requests from YouTubers and Twitter people to cover Russell 2000 on this weekend's video, so I've decided to add Russell 2000 today. So tonight we're going to be covering Spider in its long-term implication and Russell 2000. And as always, we're going to be covering gold and Bitcoin. And it is all coming up right now. All right, so let's talk about the S&P 500 here. But the game is now over. Party has ended. Now this thing is ready for some big, bad correction because we have a big, bad double top here. And double top for murder and pattern for murder, right? Murder this market. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let's go back to historical perspective and see every time there's a little double top looking thing, see how we play it out, right? So I'm going to kind of zoom. I'm going to kind of go back here. Okay, so I'm going to do this. All right, so I'm going to go right here. So this looks a lot like today's price action, right? So it has a nice trap right here, right? It looked like it was going to break out. Traps people right there. Looks like a double top. And that's the neckline right here. And you can see this gaps down in a dramatic fashion. Can you imagine, like, let's say if this is today. This was, when was this? This was June 18th. If this is today, what is everyone saying? That's what they're saying, exactly what they're saying. You know, they are saying back in June what they're saying today, right? This is a double top market, cannot possibly go any higher. And what I want to tell you is, let's look at this objectively. This is a neckline. Well, at least we want to see if it will break the neckline. And breaking below the neckline alone is not enough. It must break below that first, and there will be oversold bounce. And then when we bounce this, we must, cultivate and declare that lower high by printing and establishing that swing high and making that lower high peak and come right back down and make the low, right? What happened? Let's kind of go there next day. Oh my gosh, what happened? Oh my gosh. What happened to that double top? Right? Well, because we're in an overall uptrend. So market was cultivating that higher low and so many people missed that move. They came later. S&P 500 is currently trading at 460 and this was at 416. So if you actually bought at 416, you could have rolled this rally to 460. But you're too scared and you're thinking about that double top. Let's continue here. Oh, look at this one. This one seems pretty scary too. This one seems very, very scary. Looks a lot like what we see today. Look at that. Looks like, here, let's tighten this right here, right? Looks like a trap right here. Perfect trap. Make that higher high. People are chasing this, punishing those people coming down. People are calling for the double top. Market cannot possibly go any higher. We need real correction. This is a double top for murder, right? Let's tighten this right here. Where's the neckline? Neckline is right here, about 376 or something like that. You can even go on the wick or so, somewhere here. And then what you have to know is that, well, double top is not going to be fully confirmed. At least first stage is minimum break below this neckline, right? Maybe even below that wick. So you got to go all the way to like 370. Until then, we have to give benefit of the doubt to the buyers, the educated traders, investors would say. But needy and desperate and fearful, anxious, uneducated traders and investors will quick to judge and say, this is a double top, man. And they'll let their fear override their logical sense, not understanding these things. And then once again, they fail to understand a big picture trend of things. And the market goes right back up. And in that, we cultivate another higher low and higher high. This was when market was trading at 386 earlier this year in April. If you went long here instead of fearing for the double top, well, market, again, trading at 460 today. 386, you could have got long and rode it all the way up. Let's continue here. And this is the this double top here. This double top here is pre-election week. So there's a lot of jitteriness, uncertainty, right? And so this one actually did come down to retest the neckline. And every situation is pretty similar, you know, as far as understanding this pattern. You first have to respect the fact that we're in an uptrend, and we have to look at it objectively and say, hey, you know what? Because we're in an uptrend, we first have to give benefit of the doubt. But in a case that this might be a double top, we must first see the evidence, right? Can we substantiate this double top with the evidence, right? So this thing, you know, coming down, and then we see dramatic gap down. People are freaking out. And then this is, again, pre-election week, right? Trump's going to win, Biden's going to win, who's going to win? If Biden wins, the market's going to crash, right? That was this time. And a lot of people thought that after we just came out of the COVID reversal, I mean, this is it. We're going back to the March lows of COVID. This was late 2020, second wave of COVID is going to hit, and we're going to crash back down. This was it. And make things worse, gap it down. This is a pre-election. Oh my gosh, that thing is ready. But we understand that for at least at minimum, we need to see that neckline getting broken. Let's find out what happened afterwards. Oh my God, what happened? What just happened here? So we never broke below the neckline. We just kind of reversed back up and kept going higher. And this was when Spider was trading at 320. Currently trading at 460. You could have gone long here and rolled this all the way this year to the upside, right? So if you think about this, how many times this market has given you an opportunity to accumulate? Here's another crucial one. This was during COVID. So I want you to see this. And this was during COVID. And this was back in May. So this was when they locked us down. All the businesses were closed. You can't travel. You basically can't do anything. I mean, this was when COVID was ramping everywhere. They're tweeting, they're sharing, they're talking about in these mainstream media news, talking about the death toll, death rates, and just how much this monster is going to change the way we live forever. I mean, fear was real. I mean, last thing people thinking about at this level is buying stocks, man. This was May. Well, there's a double top here. And it tested neckline. This was when trading at 280s. Today, 460. Bought it right there. And then next day, we actually gapped down. You see right here, this is where it closed the day before. This is where it opened. We actually gapped down. And in that intra hour, you see the lower wick? People are freaking out. Bulls are getting stopped out, panic selling their longs. Shorts are getting super excited, getting into their YOLO lotto option trades and shenanigans. And then what happened? Oh my gosh. It just kind of gapped up and never looked back. And this was 280s and currently trading at 459, 460. So now that you look back in every scenario, you feel pretty stupid thinking that this is a double top. Hey, you know what? K, this time is different, K. This time is different. You know what? For your sake, I wish this time is different. Because it sounds like you've been getting burned last 5-6 times. And you're the type of guy who like to YOLO on those kind of inside straight draw or like a river flush thing, right? In your poker game, you like to kind of hit those crazy low, like very low odds shenanigans to go all in type of guy. Yeah, it's a tough road. And you know what? I for your sake, I wish you'll play out because it feels like you've been going through a tough time, Four most dangerous words in investing are, this time is different. More money has been lost to prepare for corrections than corrections themselves. And it is true today. So, as you can see, let's not. Hey, you know what? This might be it. This might be the time. This thing maybe actually be the top. Nobody knows. Why would you bet on that though? Are you the type of guy that would you bet on it every single time, right? Wouldn't you want to bet on setups that has higher probability playing out versus you want to hit that one, YOLO bet that at the river flush draw, straight draw bet that you might hit it, right? And let's say if you do hit it, it's the worst thing that ever happened to you because now you've tasted what it's like to kind of go for these stupid YOLO bets, and then you taste it you know what it tastes like. And so next time, every time when you come to this crossroad, you're likely to bet again on that low odds setups. And that's how gamblers lose money. Why do you think people go to casino knowing that their odds are against them? So remember that one time they hit a little stupid lottery or jackpot or whatever you know what I mean? But their lifetime, if we put all that track record together, the lifetime they've gone to casino in their entire life, they're probably down 90% of their entire funds they brought to casino. But they'll remember that one time. They made money. Yeah, they remember the one time and they're like, well, I feel like lucky today. So you feel lucky today? Go ahead. So you know what? I want to continue to give benefit of the doubt to the buyers. As you guys know, I'm a long-term investor and position trader. So it's a little blip here, shenanigans that we saw last couple of days doesn't really affect me as a long-term investor. And I think that's the best way to really navigate this type of market. Let's go to Russell 2000. So Russell 2000 here. So this is, again, there's a couple things here. You can see the Russell 2000 has been correcting through time, right? And this is and Russell 2000 made a big move. You can see it just went vertical. Like, look at this thing. This thing from here, like, well, and then it got here. And then it did that, just straight shot move. There's a little double top you want to talk about. There's another double top there. You want to talk about that double top, look at this double top right here. But anyhow, and then, had a huge move and then now sideways move, right? And so that's the best you can ask for as a long-term investor. When this thing goes sideways, and that's the best thing you can ask for as a long-term investor because you're not going through big drawdowns after this huge move. But anyway, so what we see right now is that it's consolidating. Every time there's this market doing sideways, there's so much attention to Russell 2000. It's going to make sure to trap some people before it finds its traction to the upside. What I talked about, it could do something like that. It looks like it's gonna break out and comes right back in, and it looks like it's a breakdown, and then it could do something like that. And that was what he seemed like. That's what he's doing, right? Right. And this and I think because it's attracting so many eyes here because everybody want to be part of this, right? Everybody missed out. Most people missed out on this move. And market tends to do that. Market follows the majority. So they want to grab whatever might be coming later. It's not going to make it easy. It's going to make sure to fake people out. Make sure it's going to be scary to get in. It always does. It's never easy. Was it easy to get in after COVID lows? None of these places were easy. Remember what was going on. Just remember what happened. And then people thought when it got to the all-time high, people thought there's no way it's sustainable. You can't just V-shape higher like that. It must come back down, retest the lows. That's what everybody was saying, right? What did the market do? Just go straight up, leaving everyone behind. And then everybody wants to jump in. And then market said, nope. And then everybody's, okay, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to wait. And then I'm going to wait till breakout. It breaks out. And then people jump in here. Market says, nope. That's why it's too late. When everybody can see it, it's always too late. And you say, well, how do you know, Kay? This could be a big triple top, Kay. This thing is gonna come crash back down. Okay, well, let's go back here. And you guys, if you've been watching my videos and following my blog posts since 2015 or 2016 and 17, you guys remember this because I was trading here. I was buying these dips. You guys remember I used to do these like journal posts, these journal posts where each day I'll kind of update you guys, where I bought it, where I close it out. You guys remember this? And what I did was I was buying here, and then close out some here, close out some there. You guys remember this? It's still in my blog. If you go to if you think I'm BSing you, go to my blog, twotradesclub.com, go to search, go to blog post section, and then go to search and put in IWM and you'll see it. So anyway, so what happened was, so I'm not just like, because you're like, well, yeah, it's easy for you to say, Kay, so you can just go back and search it out. No, I was actually trading this. So look, Russell 2000 sees a big bullish move. This was 2016, right? Look at that. So that's the 2016 low, makes a move. Huge move there. And then what happened? People trying to get in. And markets will make sure to, you know what I'm saying, make things difficult. And so what was going on is, look at that. So this was when there's a lot of there's a lot of anxiety around Russell. And a lot of people even said, like some people on TV, on CNBC said that if Russell 2000 breaks down, it's going to take the whole market with it. And that's what they said here. And this chart was going on along Twitter, YouTube, everybody's talking about it. This right here. Oh my God, we just broke below this one entire year. Major support. Small caps are breaking down. This entire market, it is ready to crash back down to the lows. I remember, and I bought it because I like to go against the majority because the market always follows the majority. And I understand the fact that the trend is assumed to be in effect until it gives us a clear signal that it has been reversed. And I understand the market loves to put in these traps. Right? And so, and this was, everybody was very, very fearful that, this chart was going around everywhere. Like, oh my God, this breaking down. And the funny thing about it is just the way it come down. You see how like this thing comes down, go up, comes down, go. It is a lethargic move. And look at how dramatic this downturn is. Look at this. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Hey, how many guys play poker? You guys play poker. A lot of traders like to play poker. And a lot of you are gamblers. You love playing poker, right? What happens is when you have a weak hands, many times, that's when you want to act bad. Right? I mean, not always, but when you have like, you want to disguise your hands. You don't want to let the table know that you got strong hands, right? So when you have a weak hands, however, you do want to act like you got something big, like you got straight work, you got straight going, or you got two pair, or you got the set or trips or something like that, right? So this right here is like the market bluffing. Look at how ferocious that was. Compared to these like up and down, 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 up and down. Like it just was like, It's like up and down, it's like nobody's getting scared. But when this thing start coming down hard, again, I was trading, so I remember the sentiment, the psychological sentiment. People were getting it was like every day for an entire month. And this is what everybody was talking about, the Russell 2000, the small caps, right? And then it did the unthinkable. When everybody was bearish, it finally broke out, but not in a way that everybody was looking, like, hoping that it was going to break out, like from here, like this, or maybe a little pullback and go back up, but not in this fashion where this dramatic downturn breaks below the rising uptrend support and then traps everybody and gets up. It traps both longs. Longs, what do? They close out their longs in panic. What do shorts do? They start shorting, they get trapped, and then go without both of them, and they both lose money, right? It's a similar sentiment here. So how I look at it is, overall overall trend is up, right? And then market, instead of this thing correcting through price, it's correcting through time sideways. That shows strength. So you must understand how to look at this in a big picture and not think like everybody else, and understand the market always follows the majority. So I want to give benefit of the doubt to the buyers. I did not close out one single share that I own on my index fund for Russell 2000. Overall, I think, S&P and the NASDAQ, some shakiness, some shenanigans, but I still believe in the long term, right? In the short term, we'll look at things again next week, but in the long term and the midterm, I am still in the camp that market is bullish. And if market decided this is a time to actually get into a real downturn from here, right? I have to say that might be a good buying opportunity. But market, I think so many people missed out on this rally that I think market is making sure that most people not get back in. And I think that's the whole strategy of this market. Market is insidiously clever like that, where S&P 500 didn't see an actual real correction. Because so many people were waiting for a real correction to occur, and it didn't occur this entire year. So a lot of people are not able to partake in it. And with the Russell 2000 potentially looks like it's breaking down here, that could be another trap before this could make a move there. Let's go to gold here real quick. I didn't mean to spend this number. Gold, I think, what I like about gold with the recent price action is that we still have this subtle higher lows, right? Even though with the recent decline, it didn't come down and make lower low. Did it? Did we make lower low? We didn't. So we still have these lower highs, right? Life is hard in gold market here, but then higher lows. So whoever breaks out first is going to be a winner. And overall, in a primary term, it's uptrend. We're in uptrend. Primary. We're talking primary, big picture. But in the midterm, just looking at just this year or so, it's starting to look more like a consolidation basing period. And that's how I look at it. And that actually favors buyers as long as we can keep that higher lows going and break above it. Let's go to Bitcoin here real quick. I know Bitcoin's been coming down. So you can see that gap really, that gap is troubling, making Bitcoin's life hard here. This down, another down gap. And then now bears are going and filling all these up gaps here. So now we just got a little tiny gap currently open. We both have this another big gap from here though. But so we're filling these down gaps. I think Bitcoin needs to stay above somewhere here if you want to see any kind of this momentum to continue. But let's say Bitcoin starts to come down and fill this gap, things could be hectic, because then we might have to look at this as a lower low. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So let's see how it plays out this coming week, and we'll revisit next weekend, and we'll go from there, right? Well, thanks for watching this video all the way through, and hope you guys enjoy the remainder of this weekend, and good luck trading next week.